So a month before a global pandemic, you launch your business. Talk about that. Talk about how that
Sure.
happened.
Yeah. So the business was ready by mid-February. And I ended up planning like a launch party on February 29th. And everything went great. I was excited. I had already talked to a couple like potential customers.
Yeah,
And then the following week, COVID hit the US.
I remember, girl.
Yes. And it even still when COVID hit, a lot of us were under the impression like, okay, this will be over at the
Right,
end of the month.
right.
It was never over. And we went on lockdown after that. But the great thing is cleaning services are considered essential businesses.
Right.
So we were allowed to stay open. We were allowed to still go out and do work. And the business took off. I mean, people were
Wow.
really needed cleaning
Needed it.
services at that time. And we added COVID sanitation,
That's good.
sanitizing, disinfecting services. So people were booking it. They were booking it for like loved ones who were in the hospital and were getting ready to come home.
Oh,
They wanted to clean the house.
yes.
Yes. So the demand, like I had a couple customers in March. By April, May, we were rolling. And I
Wow.
had started with about, I think, 3 cleaners at the time. And I was also doing some cleaning myself in my spare time. And I had to like figure things out quickly. I had to scale
Yeah.
quickly. And then we got to the end of May where unfortunately the George Floyd murder happened. And
Yeah.
the country was really hard set on patronizing Black owned businesses. So a lot
Yes.
of platforms like Google, Yelp allowed you to put a Black owned label on your business page. After
Wow.
that, our revenue tripled.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you were in the so you were still working.
still
You
working.
were still working in
I was working
government.
from home.
Right. Yep. In the government. And now, you're also doing this business and it is taking off, right? Which, it's a blessing. It's unfortunate, the circumstances,
Yeah,
but the circumstances, worked out for your favor, for your
absolutely.
good, which is a great thing, honestly, as an entrepreneur, that is a good thing.
Yeah,
And because it wasn't just about you being an entrepreneur and making money. It was about you being an entrepreneur and providing a solution to people who really needed it.
exactly.
And I think sometimes we forget that part as entrepreneurs, that it's not just about making the income.
Right.
That's almost like the byproduct, but really we provide solutions for people,
Right.
right? And I
Needed
just think
services.
needed services. I think that's amazing what you did. Starting off, and now you're kind of running.
Hmm.
But also, I'm sure you're dealing with kind of, COVID, and make sure you're safe, make sure
Yeah.
those other cleaners are safe. What mindset challenges did you have to, overcome as you were kind of just going in this direction?
Yeah, I think it was a matter of just trusting myself when there were issues that presented themselves. Like, don't stop. You know what I mean? Keep
Yeah,
going. You'll figure it out. And I
yeah,
really had to like tell myself, like, you've made it this far. This business is clearly something you should be doing because
yes.
it's growing at such a rapid rate. So just telling myself, like, if like, for example, if a customer had like a really bad experience, like trying not to let that upset me and just keep
Right.
going. Like, okay, I learned from this lesson. This is what I'm going to do next time. Because I think often, especially as a new entrepreneur, any adversity we face or any just, something that goes off the schedule, we're like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. And you can't have
Yeah,
that
you can.
mentality. Like, you have to keep
I
going.
always say, like, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of
It's
heart.
not. It's
Like,
not.
you got to have some tough
You have to
skin. You
push
got to have
through.
you know what I mean? Like, you have to have like a Mamba mentality. You
Yes.
got to keep going,
Yes, you have to. You have
because
to.
you're going to have the ups and downs. You're going to have it's ebbs and flows of business. It's
Yep.
just what it is. So that's really awesome. What was the best? I don't know if mentors, I'm big into mentorship,
Mhm.
but what was the best advice that you got when you first started?
That's a good one. I would say the best advice I got was to, like I kind of mentioned in the beginning, with like getting started and not trying to perfect your product. So
Yeah.
even after I launched my business, I continued to work on it every day. So the
Mm.
best advice I would say is that was given to me is, yes, you have a business. Yes, it's going well. Continue to build it,
Yeah,
continue
that's
to add
good.
things. Like if you look at my website now versus when we first
Yes.
started, I had maybe like 4 pages, which was like the booking page, the landing page, and
Right.
maybe like a terms of service page. Now
I
we
love
have an
that.
about us, we have a,
Yeah.
neighborhood information, we have a career section.
I
And
love
I
that.
continue to work on the business every day.
Yeah.
So your business is never finished, it's never finalized. You should always be working on improving it and
Right.
adding
Always
things to
staying
it.
innovative,
Correct.
always seeing what other things you can do. And I think it's important, right? One of the things that I've tried to do with my business is gauge from the clients what they need,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm providing,
Yeah.
right? A solution to their need. When I first started, it's funny you mentioned that. When I first started, all I provided was editing services for their books, right? Editing services. I did proofreading. And then I did some like speech writing.
Okay.
That was, I was like, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
But as it grew, right, my clients were like, I need you to do this publishing for me. I don't have time. I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with it. It was frustrating to them. And my heart was always, somebody needs your story.
Yep.
Somebody needs to hear what you have to say. So I added packages. I added different things that I was seeing. Oh, this is their need. Ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is big. So I added those things. So I love that you said, your business is always developing.
Yeah. You think about like Amazon, like they
Yes.
started off selling books.
Books. I know.
Now look at where we are today.
Look at where we are, trying to get those shares. Those books. But I love that. That is amazing. So your journey going from, you're still in, I'm sorry, you were still in government at this time, and you're still working this business, and you're in the middle of a pandemic working your business. I think that, just seeing your path is so admirable.
Thank you.
Just how you're doing. I love it. Now, at this time, I think you were telling me too that you were doing some travel hosting, was it?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So tell me a little bit about
Sure. So I work part-time for a travel brand. I have been traveling with them for about 8 years now, and it's owned by a close friend of mine. And we started off going to Haiti. So the name of the brand is Haitian Nomad.
Oh.
It was because we started traveling to Haiti first, and then we expanded to going to more countries, visiting more countries all over the world. So I was traveling with them just as a guest for like the first couple years, and then he expanded to hiring staff. So now I host about 3 to 4 trips a year all over the world. This year we've done Fiji, Ivory Coast, Colombia for my birthday. So
I've been to Colombia.
yes,
Did you like
I loved it. I loved it. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, yes. Listen, and the food.
Yes.
Okay. I always go back to food because we got to order this
right.
Next time
I
on
still have to
Brunch
go to
with
work.
Bosses.
I still have to, run my business.
Yeah.
So you have to keep going.
At that point, what were some of the essential things you told yourself? Right? Because you can get so discouraged.
Yeah.
It's almost like, when entrepreneurs go through things, right? So let's say you have certain areas, okay, the business is going well, right? But then life is over here hitting you. And you're almost like, what is happening? Right? Like, what am I? And it's easy to feel discouraged.
Yeah.
It's easy to be like, I'm not. Giselle Quintanilla here of B3 Media TV, and listen, I am so excited. I just launched my newest book, The Pain Plan, the blueprint for healing from emotional grief in marriage, separation, and divorce. Listen, this book right here, we all know somebody who is struggling through a broken marriage, who is sitting in the uncertainty of separation, or who is dealing with the residue of emotional hurt after divorce. And we need to heal, because healing is the only way that we're going to be able to operate in our purpose. So I am super passionate about helping people heal through their emotional grief and deal with their triggers and confront those things that we don't want to confront, so that we can stop bleeding over people who had nothing to do with our wounds. The Pain Plan is not just my story of what I dealt with separation and divorce, but it is also the key and the roadmap to practical tools that are going to help people heal so they can move on to their next, so they can live the abundant life, the purpose-filled life, the life that we were created to live. So listen, The Pain Plan is available right now on Amazon. So you want to go and get this book. And if it's not for you, I know you know somebody who needs a beacon of hope, somebody who needs to heal. And so that person, listen, you love them, get this book for them. Help them heal so they can move on to their next. Make sure you like, subscribe, B3 Media TV on YouTube, and we'll see you soon.
Celebrate women's empowerment on B3 Media TV and tune in for inspiring stories, thought-provoking discussions, and relatable content that showcases the strength and achievements of brilliant, brave, and bodacious women everywhere. We are B3 Media TV.